Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I'm the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to quickly look at how to add and subtract vectors. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, this really isn't that technical or that challenging, but just for the sake of completeness, I want to go over how to do this. So you guys know that a vector is magnitude and direction. Those are kind of two of the traits of it. And so if we're given something like, let's say vector u equals 3 minus 2. Oops, that's wrong. And vector v here equals minus 1 comma 4. We need to find u plus v, and then we'll also find u minus v. So that's kind of our goal here. And so first I'll solve it, and then I'll show you a picture of what's happening on the actual graph when you plot it. So here we go. This is very, very simple. To actually find the answer here, you just take the x value, if you will, or the first value of the first vector, add it to the second value of the second vector, take the second value of the first vector, add it to the second value of the second vector, and that's it. So if we were to work this out, it would be something like this. It would be a vector of 3 with a quantity minus 2, plus you have here minus 1 and 4. And so that's the same as saying the following: 3 plus the quantity of negative 1, comma, negative 2 plus 4. That's what we got there. And then when you simplify, 3 plus negative 1 is going to be 2. And then negative 2 plus 4 is going to be 2. So this is our answer right here. Now let me show you what's happening when we graph this. Now this is a little bit trickier to explain, so I'm going to try to just have you follow along here. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to start at point 3, negative 2. That's what we're going to start at. Point 3, negative 2, because that is where our first vector is at. 3, negative 2. So 3, negative 2 is the point right here. Now from this point, we're going to go to the left 1, because remember, let me just write this at the top. It was 3, negative 2 was our first quantity, our first vector, and then our second vector was negative 1, positive 4. Those are our two vectors there. Now, to do this, now we're going to go to the left, negative 1, because we're going to go minus 1. So we're going to go from here to right here, and then now we're going to go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see right there we're already at 2, 2, which was our answer. So let me do that again. We are going to start as follows. If you just try to follow this, we always start in standard position here. So we're going to start in standard position. And so we're going to go from there to right here. Okay? Now that we're here, we're going to go from here. Oh, don't want to do that. We're going to go from here all the way up like so until we get to 2, 2. About right here. And so this is going to be our answer like this. Make this line up nice and neat. And then of course you often would, it's very common to close it. Whoa, don't want to do that. Very common to close it like this. And you can see that this is our answer right here. Like so. All right, so we started at, let's see here, 3, negative 2. We started at 3, negative 2. And then we went to the left 1 because it was minus 1. Then we went up 4. Wait a minute. Oh, did I make a mistake? Yeah, this should be at 2, 2. I need to move this over. So this should be right here. Sorry about that. So we went to the left 1, and then we went up 4, and we ended up at 2, 2, which was our answer. So now let's take a look at how we can now deal with how to subtract. It's the same process. Again, this is not the deepest piece of information that we have to do. So we know that we're going to start with u. U is going to equal, just as a review in case you forgot, 3 minus 2. Whoops. And v, oh, I had a hard time drawing these vector signs here. It's going to be negative 1, 4. Okay, so now we want to find u minus v. So if we had to try to work that out, it would be as follows. So u plus minus v, that's all it is. And so in this case, it's going to be 3 negative 2 plus, or excuse me, 3 negative 2, 3 negative 2, three negative 2, hold on for 3 negative 2, and so we have 3 minus 2, and now notice carefully how things are switching up here. Now we have not minus 1, but we have positive 1, and we have negative 4. Now why did this happen? Because this time we're subtracting, so the signs for the v vector switch. It used to be minus 1, a minus times a minus is a positive, and this used to be positive. Positive times a minus is now a negative or a minus, however you want to think about it. And so then now we continue with the process of completing the answer here. So now we have 3 plus 1 minus 2 plus minus 4, like that. And so when we finally work it out, 3 plus 1 is going to be 4, and minus 2 plus minus 4 is going to be minus 6. So this is our answer right here. And so if we were to actually try to show you what this looks like when it's graphed, as simple as possible, it'll look like the following. So move to the next screen here. And so we start at the same spot, 3 minus 2. This should look familiar. And so from there, this is what we do. We take away 3 2, and so the first thing that we do here is that we go so in this situation I would go to the right 1, and then I would go down 4. So I go from 3 to 4, and then I go down 4. 1 2 3 4, and this is kind of where my final position would be. So if I were to draw this, it would look like the following. Let's go ahead and see if we can put this in. So I start in standard position. So this is my u vector right here, and then from there I have my v vector like so, and then oops, I always like to do that. This is how we would close it out, like this, like so. So you can see quite the triangle there. And so this is how we address how to add and subtract vectors. And the purpose of mapping it here, putting it on the plot, is to show you what's going on. So we started from standard position. We went to 3 minus 2. And then after that, we went to the right 1, and then down 4 because it was negative. And that'll give us our vector v here. And that's how we're able to get the answer. So let me go ahead and label that so there's no confusion. This is right here vector u, right here this is vector v, and this is just completing the triangle right there. That's all we're doing. And so this is what's happening with vectors when you plot them and everything. So let me go back and kind of review what we were talking about and then kind of wrap up the video here. So in this video we talked about how to add and subtract vectors. And simply all you do is you take the first value, add it, take the second value, add it, and then you get a new vector. Not that deep when you're adding. The only caveat is that if you're doing subtraction, you have to flip the signs in the second vector. That's important. And so here on this screen, we added the first time through, and then I showed you the triangle here, how things moved. Again, not that deep. You go from standard position, you go to 3 minus 2, and then because it's minus 1, you go to the left 1, and then because it's positive 4, you go up 4, and that's how you get your final answer here, which in case you forgot was 2, 2. Okay, and then for this one we subtracted a vector, and the key thing here that you got to keep track of is that you have to flip the signs in the second vector. So I started with minus 1 comma 4, that became positive 1 minus 4. Flip the signs because we're subtracting this time. After that the process is the same, and our answer is 4 minus 6, and you can see right here how we graphed it. So So we went from here to here. This is our standard position, 3 minus 2. That's our first vector. And then this time we went to the right 1 because it was positive 1. And then we went down 4 because it was negative 4. And that was our vector v. And so then we kind of completed the triangle there. So I hope this video was useful for you and you were able to understand what we were talking about. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Take care.